Hi everybody, Merry Christmas. I'm using a new system today. First time I've ever done this, which is sort of a hybrid of what I do during my weekday programs and then on the Saturday program. So I actually have no idea if this is working or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on the run. So you're doing this with me. So I'm just pressing buttons and seeing what's happening. So I'm actually live here. Is it actually live? Check the thingy and press that and see if we're actually up. Is it working? I don't know. Looks like it probably is working. So good morning to everybody, and I'll turn that off. Okay, so hi everybody, Merry Christmas, and it's lovely to be here on a very special day of the year. Now, somebody wrote to me yesterday and they said, "Oh, Tim, you're an atheist. You shouldn't be celebrating Christmas." The thing is that I was brought up in a Christian household. I was immersed in Christmas traditions. I was brought up in Australia, which is secular, but has Christian traditions that are inherited from its days as a British colony. And just generally, and I suppose slightly religiously, you can't understand Western culture unless you understand the Bible and Christianity, because so much of what happens in its practices, in its law, in the way that Western people conduct themselves, have come from Christian traditions. And of course, Christmas is the major celebration for Christians around the world. And there are many people who are devout, and to them this is a very special day indeed. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas indeed. So it's going to be a bit of a weird show. Look, I'll just give a bit of a shout out to people. I've got buttons all over the place here, and I'm not really exactly sure how it's all going to work, because I don't think I can play Christmas music because of copyright on YouTube. I tried to get the piano out, and I spent most of yesterday trying to get it to work. It wouldn't boot up. So that's probably a good thing for you, that you're not going to have to put up with me playing the piano. I've tried to encourage the cats to come over here. They've all gone out, I don't know, partying, rave party, I don't know what's going on. So the cats may or may not turn up. In the meantime, we have a choice of hats. I've got this one, or I've got this one. So I'm not sure. I think that makes me look slightly insane, that one. Don't think that's going to work. I think we'll go back to this one. I'll save that for anybody else that might drop in during the program. Where's the ball thing? There it is. So anyway, Merry Christmas, and let's say hello to the people that are there. Mr. Darcy, Arnold, Bam Bam Batman. Some of you have really got to change your YouTube names. Serena, Just Kendall, Joe Reeves, Fredo, Serena, Scott D. Hope it's a little bit warmer. It was minus 150 or something yesterday. Dean, we've got Kevin. Merry Christmas, Tim. I'm in Oz. We've got Norman Brown. Hi, Norman. Thank you for your email. I got that, and no need to explain yourself. Janice, all the way from Perth. I've got a friend who's usually here at Christmas dinner on this very table, but is in Perth this year. KJ, hi. Frank, good morning. All he says is Merry Christmas. Arnold, food history. What sort of name's that? Really? Food history. Makey, Serena, Albert, David, Jared, Richard, and Andrew. What I thought I'd do is I'll just go very quickly through some of the main news stories today, because I mean that's sort of what I do. We'll just check out, say, two stories, the two main stories today. Then we'll get into what's the best Christmas song? What's the worst Christmas song? What's the best Christmas movie? You might like to share some of your favourite traditions. People have already written in, and we'll go to those. And I'll also share with you a few pre-finish photos of my old shirts, which have been turned into elephants. So we'll share that with you as well. Chris across the planet says, "G'day, Tim. 3XY was always better than AW." We're being very, very parochial here. I used to work at a place called 3AW in Melbourne, which I think is still going strong, despite the fact that I left. Can you imagine? And 3XY was the Rocky Jockey station back in the sort of 60s and 70s in Melbourne. And if you were young and hip, you'd listen to 3XY. Good memories there. My name is Rohan. Thank you, Food History. This is my channel name as a food historian and anthropologist. Rowan, thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. And if you want to check out Food History, there you can go. You can find out about anthropology and food history. Bam Bam Backman, I get staggering drunk and howl at the moon on Christmas Day. Okay, good. That's nice, Bam Bam. Okay, so let's just go through the main news stories today, because I think there are a few things that were sort of interesting. God, will this work? Will this work? I don't know. I've got to go back to this software here. If I press that, there we go. Thailand caps a year with over 11 million tourists. Well, of course, we got to 10 million, and they thought, whoa, that's wonderful. But apparently they've got to 11. And I think we know where most of them have come from over the past 2 months anyway. Thailand's welcomed more than 11 million tourists so far this year, and that measures from January to December the 22nd. Now you can see there in the third paragraph, they're coming from Malaysia, 1.81 million out of the 11 million from Malaysia, and you'd have to imagine a lot of them have probably popped across the border. And then you've got 923,000 from India, 796 from Laos, and I would say that 795,000 of those have come across the border. 563 from Singapore, 562,000 from Cambodia. Again, a lot of them have come across the border. Not sure if we can call a lot of those people from, say, Malaysia, Laos and Cambodia as tourists, but the TAT is counting them as tourists, and that's all that matters. And I just share this with you as well. A total of 5.72 million visitors were logged at Suvarnabhumi Airport, 1.45 at Phuket International, and 904,000 at the Don Mueang Airport, which is the second airport in Bangkok. And then the second last paragraph, some 760,000 visitors were registered at checkpoints in Sadao district of Songkhla and 328,000 in Nong Khai. I think the numbers are probably much larger than that. Let's just check out this from the Phuket Immigration Report. And this is from November the 1st until the 18th of December. So this covers about, 6 weeks. And if you have a look there, you've got 117,000 people from Russia. The next highest number of people coming through, India, then Singapore, Australia, and the UK. So that's just the arrivals coming through immigration at Phuket. So those immigration numbers, if they measured them over the last couple of months, would have been heavily skewed towards people coming in from Russia. And just an update on the horrible situation with the sunken ship. And hi, good morning and Merry Christmas to all those people that are just joining us. We're just checking a few news stories very quickly before we get into a little bit of Christmas cheer. This is very prickly, by the way. Very prickly indeed. You could injure yourself if you ran into that. So at the moment, the Royal Thai Navy HTMS Sukhothai found 6 more bodies drifting at sea. They're still unaccounted for 16. 6 bodies have so far been confirmed as members of the crew of the ill-fated HTMS Sukhothai. And the fourth paragraph down there, a spokesman says that 76 crew members have been rescued out of the ship's complement of 103. That's the tree I was talking about that's very, very prickly. Let's just go into that story a little bit further. From The Nation, more bodies likely to be trapped in the wreck of the Sukhothai. And they say that they've retrieved the 7th victim from the warship sinking last Friday. Friday before. 72 Royal Thai Navy sailors remain missing in the Gulf of Thailand after the ship went down. Sorry, that was last Sunday. And they found the latest body 300 metres from where the warship sank. And they say there could be more bodies trapped inside. So that's the latest news there from the sinking of the Sukhothai, which is certainly not a good way to finish the year for Thai news. Pattaya says, Merry Christmas, TNT. Teddy Bear, good morning, Tim. And we've got food history. After promoting his channel, says he's got nothing uploaded so far. Well, I hope you do soon. And welcome to the YouTube community. And Wei Tai, Tim, you should use AC/DC TNT for your theme to start the show. Great idea, except there's this tetchy thing called copyright, which would, once you've got 2 or 3 seconds of anything that's on YouTube, you're over. The message has been held for review. From Petticoat Junction. Arnold is a pig on Green Acres. I don't know who you're talking about, Paul. Arnold Ziffel. I do know Petticoat Junction and Green Acres. I remember that well from the 1960s. Matt says, how's the weather, Tim? I can report that the weather is spectacular. I could go outside and show you, but I'd sort of upset the apple cart and all these plugs. So I won't do that. I can point it in that direction. Well, not that you can really see very much, but it is bright blue skies out there and a very nice, pleasant day indeed. So, yes, probably 31 degrees today. We've got moderate easterly winds, which sort of, keeps the temperature down a little bit and dries things out a little bit so we don't have that high humidity this time of the year. Albert says, Tim, have you ever used THMY land border checkpoints? No, I've travelled to Malaysia quite often, but I always fly either to Penang or Malaysia. I've heard some horror stories of people going in vans to the border. I know it's about an 8-hour trip. That's a pretty fast trip, by the way, from Phuket to the Thai-Malaysian border. No, I won't be doing that anytime soon. But apparently, at the moment, there's a lot of queues for foreigners and a lot of refusals. So if you are thinking of going through the border, make sure you've got all your paperwork and all your T's crossed and I's dotted, because apparently they're really, really checking things at the moment. There are a lot of people, particularly from one country, who are trying to extend their stay here in Thailand at the moment and are doing it by any means, including border crossings. But I heard last week there was about a 5 or 6 hour wait for at least one van. Somebody sent me a message. So be careful if you're doing border crossings at the moment. Richard, best Christmas song, The Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York. Let's get into this. Well, I don't know where you are in the world today. Do I have a counter here? I don't think I do. See, I'm using this new system that I've never used before, so I'm not exactly sure precisely what's going on. So I've got to go here and press this. I've got to go back. So you would remember a few months ago that I donated about 30 of those crazy floral shirts that I used to wear in another incarnation. Do you like this shirt, by the way? I've had this shirt for about 25 years. It's, I would say, the equivalent of my bridal dress, in that I try it on once a year and see if it still fits. All I can say is the shirt is slowly starting to shrink. I'm sure it's not me. I'm sure it's the shirt. The polyester cotton apparently shrinks a bit over time. But you would remember that I donated all those floral shirts to an organisation called Seeds of Change, and what they do with their people. I mean, Seeds of Change is a huge discussion in itself, but they're turning all those shirts into elephants, toy elephants, which we're going to put up for an auction and then donate all the money to Seeds of Change. more about them. In fact, if you search TNT Seeds of Change, you'll probably find a video which told you a bit about this project and what they do. But let's go and see. I think I've got to press that button there. So there, I remember that shirt. Maybe you can as well. So let's put myself on the side there. How do I do that? There we go. So yeah, they're making baby elephants out of all my old floral shirts. That one looks pretty good, doesn't it? There's no one in the process of being made. I remember that shirt well as well. And so this is all the people and the staff down at Seeds of Change. That shirt looks much better as an elephant than it did as a shirt, let me say that. So here's another one. Not the same shirt really. And there's one of the staff there. And making, I remember that shirt well. That shirt was donated to me by a very kind gentleman. Each shirt's got its own history. So each elephant will have its own history as well. So that elephant hopefully will be able to auction that off, and we'll be donating the money to Seeds of Change. And, keep on buggering this up. I remember that shirt well as well. They've all got memories, and you could probably remember some of these shirts. Can I just get things right here? There we are. There's that shirt as well. So, yeah, that's what's happened to all those shirts. So they have been turned into these toy elephants, and we're going to auction them off in... so now I have to go to that. We're going to auction them off. Now, it's a little bit difficult because if you very kindly from overseas donate, I somehow have to work out how to send the elephant to you. And that's probably not going to be particularly cheap. So I'm having to get some indicative costs on sending these elephants to different parts of the world. And there's some big elephants and smaller elephants, and some have got sunglasses cases. So I've got to just get all my ducks in a row before we do that, and we'll have an auction. We might make it a live auction. I don't know. So we'll just have to see how all that transpires. But there we can see Seeds of Change. So hi, Samantha, and all the team down there. And they're one of the charities that have been sort of assembled. Excuse me. All this talking, not enough drinking. So it's one of these Living Waters Phuket charities that's been put together over the last 2 years during COVID, and it's providing work and resources to people who were formerly unemployed or who were impoverished during COVID on the island of Phuket, and giving them a chance. So good luck to them, and we hope to be able to donate a sizable chunk of money. Let's go through the latest comments. Frank in Thailand, I'll drop you an email and name of a broker to send a lot of stuff a lot cheaper abroad. Thank you, Frank. Arnold, every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings. Thanks, Arnold. Serena, Tim, just a suggestion before doing live programs, perhaps can add a thumbnail. As I said, I usually add a thumbnail. I usually give about a half-hour warning before a live program. Today is a complete schmozzle, and it's just quite random. And it was always going to be a bit like this. So I apologise, Serena. Usually I'm far more organised, but I've had actually Christmassy things to do. I've had to phone my family in Australia, phoned a couple of friends in America, phoned a friend in Europe, and I had to feed the cats, water the garden. So I've had to sort of get ready for this at 9 a.m. Thai time. So it's been quite a busy morning. So I apologise, Serena. Usually we do have countdowns, and we only do live shows usually on Saturday. That might be changing soon too. Oh, Luke. Thank you very much, Luke. Good morning to you, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for your work creating TNT. Something for Christmas lunch, the cats, and some solar panels for charging your new EV. It's going to be interesting, Luke. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what sort of car you drive. Maybe you can tell us. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year with a new fully electric car. The cats will continue eating, of course, and yeah. for Christmas lunch, I've been told by the people who I'm going to lunch today, I have to bring a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. I don't drink wine, so I'm not, and Cabernet Sauvignon. So I've written them down, and I'll be buying a couple of bottles on the way through. I haven't forgotten. Sue and Tom, I'm on the way. Thug Life, you should give at least half-day notifications so we can all get it. Oh, gee, give us a break. As I said, this is all very random, and it's just a bit of a chance for us to get together. Where's something to lean on? Something to get together, just a chance, because I know there are a lot of people who are, well, they probably don't have a place to go today. There are some lonely people today. Christmas is a time for kids, I'd say, and for families. And if you're not a kid or in a family or got a community of friends, it can be a very lonely day. So we're here just to put a bit of a smile on your face and say that you do have a community, that it's all these people that are joining us, including Luke Manton. Thank you very much for a very kind and thoughtful donation on this special day. Tim, is your DNA guaranteed on those elephants? Peter, yes. If you get one of those elephants, I think we're channeling Big Bang Theory here, aren't we? You'll be able to make your very own Tim Newton from the DNA of one of those elephants, toy elephants. So Peter E, yes, you'll be able to construct your very own Tim Newton, hopefully a bit younger and less wrinkly than this one. But yeah, all those shirts were worn. I have to say that some of them actually never ended up getting washed, because I used to circulate them and I would wear them for an hour, then I'd hang them back up, and they didn't really get that much sort of sweat or perspiration. SNRBB says, Merry Christmas, Tim. Still the 24th in Vancouver. Keep up the great work. Well, Merry Christmas to all our friends in North America. And I understand that it is quite cold. There's a cold snap going through a lot of the areas there. So please keep warm, keep safe, and hope you have a great Christmas Eve as you head into Christmas Day. Do you have some Christmas Eve traditions? What do you do on Christmas Eve? It's going to poke an eye out, that thing. It's very, very, very prickly. So Tom says, hi, Tim, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know you're in the middle of your day. Ours doesn't start for a few more hours, but I didn't know you're live streaming. I hope it's all well. Thanks, Tom. Yep, we're sort of planning to do this. And yeah, I'm sorry I didn't give anybody any warning as far as a countdown on YouTube. It's completely random this year. Happy holidays and best wishes to all. Now, one thing we did yesterday is I asked people to give us some ideas on their favourite songs, favourite Christmas movies, and also Christmas traditions. Oh, what do I press? I have to go here. Here we go. Press this button. Did that work? No, it didn't. So there, that worked. Okay. So Christmas Day, we're doing a special TNT, bloody blah, blah. Let's go to some of your answers. The Oz Kiwi says, Celine Dion, Christmas Carol, 1998 live, Oh Holy Night, sends shivers up my spine. Arthur Lee says, favourite Christmas tradition made by my sister, the Christmas Yule log, made of chocolate and cocoa powder, decorated with a tiny plastic Santa, sled and trees over 40 years old. Plastic is forever. Happy festivities, Tim, says Paula. Papillon says it's got to be a local lad from North Yorkshire, talking about the favourite Christmas song of the year. Favourite Christmas songs of all time. Chris Rea's Driving Home for Christmas. Down Under Digger says Merry Christmas. Tim Chad says not sure of the songs but movies. It's a Wonderful Life, which it's on Netflix at the moment with Jimmy Stewart, which is his favourite movie, it seems. And A Christmas Story, written by Gene Shepherd. Best present was a short letter from each daughter. Best tradition, odd man out gag gift exchange. Not sure about that one. Happy Christmas to you, great show. Merry Christmas, Tim. Bad Santa is a great movie. I think it's on one of these lists we've got coming up. Worst Christmas song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Oh dear. Nice, but aren't you a die-hard atheist, Tim? Yes, my response was yes, but grew up in a Christian environment and Western culture, tradition and community are still important. Andrew Goff says White Christmas is an old memory of winter Yorkshire, UK. White Christmas. I think that song, which I actually haven't seen listed in the top Christmas songs, was from a movie called Holiday Inn. Oh, really going back there. Hello, Santa, Are You Hot? Is that a song? Let's go to Spotify and their list of the top Christmas songs of all time. Now, I thought Spotify might be a pretty accurate barometer, given that Spotify is people streaming, so it's measuring people pressing buttons. Now, I understand that it's probably going to be skewed towards younger people who are more attuned to pressing buttons on phones and things. But let's go through these songs as measured by Spotify and see if you can actually remember any of them. And I apologise, I can't play them because YouTube's going to block us if we do that. So, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. The next list we're going to do is the worst Christmas songs of all time. I sort of got a funny feeling this song might be on both those lists. Anyway, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And I've noticed there's been a few TikTok and Instagram videos going around where people have overdubbed Mariah Carey singing. Of course, she's usually got that astonishing voice. But they've got people going, all I want for Christmas, and doing their overdubs of her singing, which is quite funny. She probably doesn't think so. She does take herself a little bit seriously. The second most popular song, Wham! Back from the, early 80s. Last Christmas, very popular song. And it'd be interesting to know if you know all these songs. This next one, I don't think I do. Ariana Grande singing Santa Tell Me. She co-wrote the song with first performed in 2014. So Michael Bublé, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. Now, that song's been done many, many times by a lot of people. But Michael Bublé, another famous crooner, and done his version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. This song, I think, also appears on the worst Christmas songs of all time. But this is from Spotify. Their top 5 song is Justin Bieber singing Mistletoe. And Andy Williams, It's the Most Wonderful Time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Okay, and that was back in 1963. So people on Spotify still listening to some of these old songs. Brenda Lee, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. I think that's always been very popular. Number 8, Bobby Helms, Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. And that's from 1957. Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas? So that's the number 9 song from Spotify. And number 10, Frank Sinatra, featuring B. Swanson Quartet, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Or, if you want to, Let It Snow times 3. Now, if you just want to go a bit further down on that list, number 11, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, Happy Christmas, War is Over, So This Is Christmas. So that would be one of my favourites for sure. 12, Bing Crosby, John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, Ken Darby, White Christmas. I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, I thought would probably be right up the top. But that would be probably a different generation listening to that song. Probably one of those songs that if one of the younger artists re-recorded, could do very well because it's a great song. Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad. I remember that one well. Michael Bublé, number 14, Holly Jolly Christmas. And Chris Rea, this for one of the people that noted Chris Rea, Driving Home for Christmas, number 15. Nat King Cole, the Christmas song. That really is a beautiful version. And nobody can do Christmas songs quite like Nat King Cole. If you haven't heard him, you can go to YouTube and find a lot of Nat King Cole singing Christmas songs. Let's go and see what you're saying about all this as I go back to you. And isn't Vancouver in Canada? Yes. Did I? I think I was talking about North America, the continent, talking about the USA and Canada. Merry Christmas from your old hometown, Melbourne. What's happening with Gary? I was speaking to my family in Mount Eliza earlier this morning. Happy holiday and best wishes to all from Don Jordan. Frank in Thailand, lonely Christmas sucks. Sadly experienced it once. It's very wet here in Airlie Beach, says AJF. What else we got? Arnold Ziffel. My little sister's birthday was Christmas Eve, so we had 2 rooms set up, one for birthday, one for Christmas. Raza Baza B. What's the go with the tone down in Pattaya with the Bugword New Year? Okay. If you want to know, I've got to speak in code here again. So it looks like they are toning down a lot of the New Year celebrations this year. In Pattaya, they've already cancelled the fireworks. The city of Chonburi has cancelled all New Year celebrations. Khao San Road is toning down their New Year celebrations, so there won't be any fireworks there. I'm not exactly sure what toned down. Toning down Khao San Road is like trying to turn down a 3,000 watt sound system. I mean, it's going to be pretty noisy there anyway. I think we'll see other New Year celebrations toned down. Now, the broad picture is that it's all to make merit for the king's first daughter, the princess who was possibly going to be the heir to the throne of Thailand. She had some sort of heart incident about 10 days ago now in Nakhon Ratchasima, and they keep on reporting that she's stable. And there's also been quite a lot of chatter in social media and some reports and sources from the palace discussing her current condition. But I think you will find, if not New Year being toned down, that there will be some big announcements made in the new year. And in the meantime, we may see some of these events toned down out of respect of the king's eldest daughter, who is currently at the Chulalongkorn Hospital in Bangkok. About all I can say there. Hit the like button, people, says Mark Lynn. Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you. Hit the like button. Yeah, it's well below zero and a lot of places between 20 and 50 below, says Tom Shannon, with wind chills. Now, see, I don't do anything below 20 degrees above zero. So forget getting below zero. No way. Steve Broderick. My favourite Christmas song is Merry Christmas Baby by Elvis Presley. And I have to say, and we'll be doing our best ofs over the next week, Elvis, the movie, was by far the best movie I've seen in 2022. Good morning and happy Christmas, says Lee Evans. Best song, this is from Mark Lynn again. Forgot my effing bike. Kev Wilson. SNRBB, yes, Vancouver is on the Pacific coast of Canada. Bing Crosby, says Thug Life. You're saying, why isn't Bing Crosby in the list, or you've never heard of Bing Crosby? What's your story there? Thug Life. Except Jamie Packer. I don't understand what you're talking about there. Bing Crosby, White Christmas. Senny Ann's good morning and Merry Christmas to all. Greetings from Rayong. Keep up the good standards you have set. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So Rayong, Ranong. Ranong is north of Phuket, about 5 hours north. Popular visa jump to Myanmar. Rayong is just south of Pattaya, the province there, where there's a lot of manufacturing. He had Mariah Carey and Christmas. Ah, right, that's right. Jamie Packer was engaged or something to Mariah Carey at some stage. Tim Best's song, Six White Boomers, although no longer PC. Six White Boomers was recorded by a gentleman called Rolf Harris, who was a popular Australian entertainer, both in Australia and the UK, but currently serving a term in jail, I believe, in the UK. No more said there. Bubble is awesome. New Frank Sinatra. I don't know. Was once Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto by James Brown. Never heard that one. Probably don't need to. Least favourite Christmas song has to be any Christmas song sung by Tim. Key J, you're absolutely right there. I couldn't agree more. Robert, hi Tim, great show. Merry Christmas from Bunbury in Western Australia. Buble is a good Vancouver boy. So Ella Fitzgerald. Oh, what happened to that one? It sort of disappeared. Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. Yeah, fantastic. Ella Fitzgerald, What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? Last Christmas by Wham from Lee. Let's go to our next list. And this is a list of the worst Christmas songs of all time. Okay? So, and the funny thing is that a lot of the worst Christmas songs on this list are in the best Christmas song list. And this one's been compiled by Rolling Stone, the modern music magazine. Okay, you can see what's going on here. So let's have a look. Number 10, NSYNC. I never knew the meaning of Christmas. I can't remember that song, and I probably don't need to. Leanne Rimes, Carol of the Bells. This is number 9. Nearly any version of this faux classical Glee Club cheese log is torture. And apparently Lee Rimes' version isn't much better. Number 8 in the list from Rolling Stones of the worst Christmas songs of all time, The Killers, Don't Shoot Me Santa. Okay, number 7, Lou Monte, Dominic the Donkey. And there we are. That looks like Dominic the Donkey. I think he's the one on the bottom. And what else have we got? Number 6, the Pussycat Dolls singing Santa Baby, usually a very sort of sensuous song. And apparently the Pussycat Dolls version not good. It took a couple of thousand years for Big Holiday to invent the concept of songs about banging Santa into the ER in exchange for toys. But honestly, give this poor man a break. By the way, you can go to Rolling Stone and type in worst Christmas songs of all time and read it up. Number 5, Elmo and Patsy, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Somebody voted for that from our Christmas list as well. And what else we got? Seth MacFarlane and Sarah I can never say her name. Bareilles, Baby It's Cold Outside, a song that was popularised by Baby It's Cold Outside. I can't remember who popularised that song. I know that Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman, or was it Kylie Minogue? No, it was Nicole Kidman, I think, did a version of that, but I can't remember who did the original one. Seth MacFarlane, probably best known as the captain on the Orville, on the TV series, which is sort of a slightly comedic version of Star Trek. Also, Family Guy. He does a lot of the voices on Family Guy. Stewie, Peter Griffin, what's the guy? Quagmire, the guy next door, and the dog, Brian. Stewie Griffin is probably my favourite animated character of all time. Seth MacFarlane, if nothing else, you'll be remembered for Stewie Griffin, one of the great comedic talents of all time. So that song, apparently. Number 4 in the worst Christmas songs of all time, Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas? I think it was number... it was in the top 10 in the best Christmas songs. Do They Know It's Christmas? And there we've got a much younger Sting. Looks like U2 and... Oh, I don't know who they are. They're all too young. Maroon 5, Happy Christmas, War Is Over. So they did their version of the John Lennon and Yoko Ono classic. And number 1, worst Christmas songs of all time, Jessica Simpson featuring Ashley Simpson, The Little Drummer Boy. You've heard of War on Christmas. This song is the sinking of the Lusitania, the atrocity that made previously peaceful civilians decide that war might be a groovy idea. The Little Drummer Boy would be at the top of this list no matter who sings it, even legends like Joan Jett or Bob Seger. I do have to say, The Little Drummer Boy, Pa-Rumpa-Pum-Pum, is one of my least favourite Christmas songs of all time. Let's go to our next list, dear. What do I do here? No, I'm pressing the wrong buttons again. Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. There we go, there's full screen. So our next list is the top Christmas movies of all time. And I know a lot of you on Christmas Eve sometimes watch a Christmas movie. In our family, the tradition used to be that we watched a TV show, a live TV show called Carols by Candlelight. And it used to be very popular. And held in Melbourne at a place called the Maya Music Bowl. And ever since I can remember, it's been a Christmas Eve tradition. And our family always used to sit down on Christmas Eve. In my younger days, my family ran a hardware store and so a homeware store. And we'd be working there until 9 at night on Christmas Eve as everybody rushed to do their Christmas presents and shopping. And then we'd go home at 9 o'clock and watch Carols by Candlelight. And that happened for years. And it's not on YouTube live, so I don't get to see it live, but I usually try and catch up with it on Christmas Day. Always got Dennis Walter singing Jerusalem, Marina Pryor singing Oh Holy Night. There must be about 150 some of these people, but they seem to roll out a lot of the same people. It's sort of an ensemble of well-known people in Australian entertainment industry and theatre, and just singing one Christmas song after another. To our next list, and this is the top 100 Christmas movies of all time. We're not going to go through all 100. We'll go through 10. Let's see, I'll press that button. And here we go. So the top 100 Christmas movies of all time, I'll get to some of your comments in just a moment. Number one is It's a Wonderful Life. Can I make that a little bit bigger? There we go. And this is currently being streamed. Oh, it won't stay big. Sorry about that. This is currently being streamed on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, an angel is sent from heaven to help a desperately frustrated businessman by showing him what life would have been if he'd never existed. Die Hard. Now, this is controversial because a lot of people think that Die Hard shouldn't be listed on Christmas movie lists, but it does seem to be. And the original Die Hard, whether a Christmas movie or not, is a great rollicking action flick. New York City police officer tries to save his estranged wife and several others, hundreds, taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party in Los Angeles. Great movie. Number 3, Scrooge. And there's been a lot of versions of this movie. Ebenezer Scrooge, a curmudgeonly, miserly businessman, has no time for sentimentality and largely views Christmas as a waste of time. Anyway, that movie Scrooge, made back in 1951, one of the originals of that original versions. Home Alone, very popular. Back in 1990, Macaulay Culkin, yes, came to our attention. I think the hat's squeezing the blood or something. And that's 32 years ago. Is it? Yes. An 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left home alone must defend his home against a pair of burglars. Great movie. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, an animated movie. Young reindeer Rudolph lives at the North Pole. This was made in 1964. And I'm trying to remember who were the animators. It wasn't Disney, I know that. Number 6 of the top Christmas movies of all time, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is the one with Chevy Chase and the Griswold family, a really funny film. So I think a lot of people used to enjoy watching that. A Christmas Story. I'll tell you the movie that probably not for Christmas, but for New Year, that I watch every year. A Christmas Story back in 1983. And in the 1940s, a young boy named Ralphie Parker attempts to convince his parents, teacher, and Santa Claus that a Red Ryder Range 200-shot BB gun really is the perfect Christmas gift. Number 8, the original 1947 version of Miracle on 34th Street. Elf with Will Ferrell, a popular Christmas movie, and that comes in at made in 2003. Gremlins, okay, didn't really sort of see that as a Christmas movie, but of course it's set at Christmas, made back in 1984. And some honourable mentions. Bad Santa, somebody's mentioned that this morning. Edward Scissorhands, didn't see that as a Christmas movie at all. Scrooged with Bill Murray. Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. The Santa Claus, that's a 1994 version with Tim Allen. A Charlie Brown Christmas, I remember that well, back in 1965. Joyeux Noel. Very interesting about a sort of a cessation of hostilities during the First World War to have some Christmas celebrations before they go out the next day and start shooting at each other again. 2005, Joyeux Noel. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Happiest Season, made in 2020, never heard of that one. And The Shop Around the Corner back in 1940. And that's number 20. Oh, look at that. Love Actually. I think that's a popular Christmas movie for more recent times, made in 2003. That list compiled by IMDb, which I suppose is the internet movie database. So that's about as Christmassy as you can get, or about as accurate as you can get, because a lot of people use IMDb for information about movies. So there you go. Let's go to your comments now, talking about... I should go to full screen. How do I do that? I go back there and I press that. Now I go to here. So Christmas Wrapping the Waitress. I didn't know that's a story. Christmas song from the Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn now, so they're saying for Christmas site. Can't remember, but it was a great song. Santa Baby Eartha Kitt. Let's just scroll down a bit. Preparation for Black Swan event. Yes, so I've been referring to this Black Swan event. It's going to happen at the start of next year. It's going to be a disruption to everything, I think. We'll just have to see. Can you back full screen? I did. Alex, we're back to full screen. So I apologise. As I said, I'm sort of using a different setup for live. I might use this more often because I can sort of refer to my my iPad, which I haven't been able to do. I think it's probably better. If you mention something, I can type it up and find it. So we'll probably use this for live in the future. So today is our test drive. Merry Christmas for everybody who's just joined us. This is a completely random, completely messy, a bit chesty this morning for some reason. Hey, Gary and Jay, East, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas from an ex-Harvey Bay, Queensland, now Sheffield, England. Brr, great content. Tom says, thanks for the name of the movie about when they stop fighting. Yeah, Joyeux Noel. Very moving movie. Tim, have you clicked the like button? It's not up to me to click the like button. I do the content, you do the clicking. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. That's from Guzzy Jack. I don't think anything that Arnold Schwarzenegger sings is going to be a popular Christmas song, but thanks for the suggestion. Let's see. Little Drummer Boy was a great message at Christmas time from Tom. Yeah, just not a popular song with me, I'm afraid. Every time they said pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, I sort of cringed. Tony Restall, hi Tony, says, Happy Christmas, Tim. Just returned from Papua New Guinea. Eye-opening, he says. I'm not sure why. You better send us an email. AJF, have a great Christmas. Got to go. Watch the rest later. Merry Christmas, everyone. Die Hard is a favourite by True Blue Tie. And yeah, a lot of people do sort of list that as one of their favourite Christmas movies of all time. Bill Murray's Scrooge is a classic, says Mackie. Tom Shannon, definitely the Home Alone movies. Yeah, look, I think after the first one we'd sort of seen enough. We got the idea. We laughed. And then we were happy to leave it another 10 years before we watched it again. Alpha Bravo, Home Alone by John Hughes. That's right. John Hughes was the director of that movie. Mark in Thailand, very pleasant, 25 degrees in Ban Chang. Bad Boy Bubby. What song did he do? Polar Express. Now, that is a good movie. And it's got a great song in it. I can hear the song in my head. One of my very favourite Christmas songs of all time was the theme to Polar Express, and I can't remember the name of the song. You're going to tell me, I'm sure. It's 33 degrees in Adelaide today, says Mark. Bad Santa is a favourite movie from Jay Easy. Also a Christmas story. Wayne Baston says worst movie was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I think I might have seen that, or at least watched some of it. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I do remember that. Happy Christmas from a freezing cold America, says Jay Easy. True Blue Tie. It's cold in Thailand. Has been for 2 weeks. 27. 27 ain't cold. 27 is just nice. Groundhog Day is a great Christmas film. Is it? Is Groundhog set at Christmas or just set in the winter? Because it's the same day that goes over and over. But is it Christmas Day? I don't think so. Jimmy Stewart Christmas film. Look, I actually admit I haven't seen it. It's a Wonderful Life. Is that what it's called? Just scroll back again. It's a Wonderful Life with James Stewart and Donna Reed. Also Lionel Barrymore and Thomas Mitchell, made in 1946. So I'm imagining it's in black and white. I will try and watch that today if I get a chance. Be later in the afternoon if I do, after a couple of lunchtime engagements. So, yeah, probably time I watch that. Always loved Little Drummer Boy with Bing Crosby and David Bowie. That was a very nice version indeed. I remember that. Disneyland After Dark got sued by Disney, so they had to change their names to DAD. Can someone tell Santa to bring vaccine to China, please? No comment. Mark in Thailand, Merry Christmas to all in Thailand around the world. And Slade, Merry Christmas, everybody. Seth MacFarlane should stick to cartoon comedy, says Thug Life. He's a real masterclass in how to become a sort of a broad entertainer. He sings, he doesn't dance, but he's a good talker on his feet. Obviously very creative with his animated cartoons, especially Family Guy, which I love for some sick reason. If I'm ever feeling a bit, just watching an episode of Family Guy will put a smile on my face. Best Christmas song, White Wine in the Sun. Not aware of that one. And Keone Noons, do you know that one of Elvis's most popular song tunes, lifted from a Hawaiian song, Adios Kialoa, was written by Leo in the 1800s? You might have to give us a bit more information. So I've sort of got that song going around my head, but I don't know the name of the song. But thanks for that information, and I can't really pronounce those names, I'm sorry, unless I sit down and study them first. Harry Connick Jr. did some great Christmas music too. Yeah, he was a great crooner, as is Michael Bublé. Yesterday, I heard a song by a Korean singer doing It's Beginning to Sound a Lot Like Christmas. It's beginning to something a lot like Christmas. And he was a great crooner as well. Not speaking his first language, which is Korean, singing in English, but boy, he had a beautiful baritone voice. His name was V. V, it's beginning to sound a lot like Christmas. A beautiful voice. Hi Tim, best song, do they know? It's Christmas Live Aid. Samui is in the sunshine, a bit breezy. Yeah, we've got moderate easterly winds in Phuket today. I cannot watch any Baz Luhrmann movie, says Thug Life. Check out Elvis. I think it is very Baz Luhrmann, especially the first 30 minutes. But it really sort of encapsulates the sort of the feeling of Elvis. Not the greatest impersonation of Elvis I've seen, but wow, does Austin Butler. He'll be nominated for an Academy Award next year, no doubt about that. Yeah, check it out, Thug Life. I think you'll enjoy it. -5 degrees in South Carolina, says Chad Williams. Blah. That's not meant to be that cold down there, is it? -5, no way. Okay, what else have we got? People saying hello from all around the world. Isn't this amazing technology where we can all join Christmas together? Believe, Jay, that's the song from Polar Express. Type in Believe, Polar Express, and that is a beautiful piece of music. Probably one of my favourite Christmas songs. Not the best known. Like when it starts up on the iPad, I don't go, oh, I didn't reel off the words, but I really enjoy listening to it. As far as songs that they press the button and within half a millisecond you know what the song is and all the lyrics, well, that's got to be Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. Polar Express song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. No, that wasn't the song. Believe was the song. Thais love Christmas, says Paul Henry. Thais do love Christmas, and it's become very popular here. And the Christmas decorations in some of the retail stores, even smaller retail stores, even in some people's homes, I've noticed they're starting to decorate for Christmas. Now, I guarantee, I was going to do this, but I just ran out of time. I was going to go and ask some Thai people to tell me what they think Christmas is about. Because I'm 100% sure none of them have any idea about the backstory to Christmas. Certainly none of them would know that Santa Claus was invented by Coca-Cola. And then trying to sort of fit Santa Claus in with Christmas trees. And oh boy, that's spiky. And then of course you've got the Christmas traditions and the birth of Jesus Christ and the whole spiritual dimension of it. It's a bewildering sort of blancmange of tradition and religion. And the Thais have just taken that little bit out of it, which includes the tinsel and the presents, and they love it. I even, not here, but at the last place I was living, around Lock Palm Golf Course, there was a group of young Thais who were caroling, going from house to house, singing Christmas carols. Totally bewildering. But the Thais are enjoying Christmas, and I think we'll see more of it. And as far as retail is concerned, they love it. I went to Central yesterday, which is one of the big department stores, shopping centre, mall, if you like, here in Phuket. It was packed to the gunnels. It was so busy. I found it hard to get a park for my motorbike. I've never seen that motorbike car park so full. The other car park was, I think it's got 7 layers. It was totally full. People driving around and then coming out the bottom, they couldn't get a car park. I've never seen that shopping centre so full in my life. So Christmas, really busy here. Having said that, in the part of the mall where they've got all the luxury stores, Louis Vuitton, name any of your favourite luxury brands, I can't remember them. I don't really shop in those places. It was very quiet still, very quiet on that level. But the rest of the place was packed. Merry Christmas to TNT from Mandalik S. Rao. Thank you very much. Tom Shannon says the Trans-Siberian Orchestra did a great compilation of Christmas music, but I can't remember the main one that was always phenomenal to listen to. That's a great idea, Tim, some street walk and talk. thug life. The thing is that when you do vox pops, doing interviews with people and then editing them, it's difficult. And particularly here in Thailand, if you're a white person walking around with a microphone and you roll up to people, you're only probably going to get about 1 in 10 people who actually want to talk to you. And it can be hot out there in the sun, and you've got to get somebody else to hold the camera. It's very difficult to hold a microphone, hold a selfie stick, and do the interviews, and it's difficult. Then, of course, you have to edit it all. Not making excuses, just saying that's the reason why we don't do a lot of vox pops, because TNT is a conglomerate, a huge conglomerate of one, me, and the cats, which haven't turned up. Dina, Dusty. Be good if we could get the cats in for just one. They'll stay here for about a second, then they'll go again. Tim, we would love a chat with Thais about this. Okay, well, I mean, we might be sort of past Christmas for this year. Maybe in the next couple of... I'll see how we go. Mark Lynn, it's not getting a park that is the problem and finding the bike when you come out. See, as you get older, you sort of get a little bit more forgetful. So I do make a note of where I've parked. I used to have a dog. Her name was Molly. She was a sort of a pint-sized border collie Kelpie cross. Wonderful dog. And Molly, I'll show you a picture of Molly. Hold on one sec. I'll be back in a sec. I'm not too far away. There she is. There we are. That's Molly. And we actually, because Molly died, about 11 years ago, we actually were able to put together a whole lot of pictures. So I've got memories there of Molly. Anyway, Molly the dog. Where I used to park the car, in a car park, because she'd come and sit out the front of the shopping centre or wherever I was shopping. And then I'd come out and say, find the car, and she would go straight to the car. Amazing dog. She had sort of GPS in her head, and she was great. She'd be able to find us, find the car, no matter where it is. I don't have Molly anymore. The cats would be useless going shopping. I'd never see them again. They'd go. But so these days, you do have to sort of take a note of where you've put your motorbike, because when you go to these motorbike car parks, there's just a sea of mostly all the same brand. And it's very difficult to find your motorbike. If you have to start walking past them all going, no, then you're going to be there for hours. So I get what you mean. Yes, I was wearing pants. Thank you very much. Shorts. Mannerheim Steamroller had a great Christmas album back in the 70s. Mannerheim Steamroller. I've never heard of that band. You might have to tell me a bit more about that, Mr. Ben's World. That particular band has eluded me. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from A Good Life. Thank you very much. At least wearing pants. Ooh, Mr. Ben. A beautiful morning and a very good day to you, says Khalid. Wishing you and all the viewers the blessings and the best for the season. Merry Christmas, TNT, from Tony in Vietnam. Put an air tag on your bike. That's a good idea. In fact, I got a notification on my phone. This is my phone here. And it told me that I haven't Find My iPhone. I haven't set it up on my phone, so I must do that. By the way, for those people that are interested, apropos of absolutely nothing at all, I use an iPhone 14, the front camera, which is the picture that you see. Sound is coming from this, which is a blue Yeti. I've had this for about 10 years, and that's plugged into my MacBook Pro 16-inch, about 4 years old, and it's all going through software called Ecamm, which then mixes the microphone, the iPhone, and the iPad, which is here. So that's the software that I use and the system, if you're interested, and you're probably not. Merry Christmas from a recent new viewer. Love your show from, Kumpawapim. Gerald, I don't know how to say that. You'll have to sort of spell it out phonetically for me. Much better than yesterday's microphone schmozzle. Thank you very much, Thug Life. Yes, so yesterday I was using this one and sorry about that. I went and bought a new microphone yesterday. Where is it? So I've sorted out my microphone problems for my live shows. I don't know where it is, but I went and bought a new lapel mic, remote lapel mic. And it's got a lot of Chinese writing on it, and it was only about 750 baht. So I don't know if it's going to work. But it worked at the store. That's all that matters. Jewish tradition, going to Chinese restaurants for Christmas. Is it Arnold? Arnold Ziffel says that going to Chinese restaurants on Christmas Day is a Christmas tradition. But Jewish people don't celebrate Christmas as such. Well, that's just what they do on that day. I invited a friend today to Christmas dinner. He said, I'm Jewish. So that was a good excuse to avoid having Christmas together with us today. And watching It's a Wonderful Life right now, says Guzzy Jack. If Jimmy Stewart didn't get an Oscar for it, he should have. Don Jordan, hi Jared from, I can't say that, I live about 20 kilometres out. Tom Shannon, you were talking about technology being able to bring us all together, and I just wanted to thank you for the live stream. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully it's a safe and happy one. Yeah, if you just sort of sit back and think for a moment, here's this little bald Aussie guy who lives in Phuket and makes a living out of writing and sending out news. Is that coming in the shot? I'll make sure it's not. And I'm speaking to a little bit of plastic and metal with a whole lot of bits and pieces inside it. And somehow, through the magic of technology, it's going out across the world. Not only that, you are then responding on a message board that I can read in real time. And you're speaking to people from around the world as well. I mean, it is really amazing technology. Now, I know a lot of this new technology causes a lot of problems in social media, causes a lot of unrest, spreads a lot of false information. But there are so many benefits of this technology that I'm sure the good will win out at some stage, and we'll find ways of controlling spam, ways of controlling disinformation, finding a way to do a cough button on a low-tech show like this. Oh Holy Night is the best song, says True Blue Tie. I actually agree with you. I think Oh Holy Night is one of the nicest Christmas songs of all time. So it starts very low, builds up to a big grand finish, and it's got a lovely sentiment as well. So Oh Holy Night, that probably is up there. Just want to ask you before we go, can we nominate our favourite Christmas hymn, Christmas carol, traditional Christmas songs? Oh, Come All Ye Faithful, Once in Royal David City. Good King Wenceslas. There are hundreds of them, and we all sort of know them. Can you nominate your favourite Christmas carol, Christmas hymn? And I probably would have played them on the piano, but as I said earlier, the piano died yesterday. I just could not get it booted up. It won't power up at all. But as I mentioned, it's probably a good thing. So your favourite Christmas carol of all time. You've heard them playing, I'm sure, in the shopping centres you've been walking around. The very first time I sang solo in my life was in a church, and I sang the first verse of Once in Royal David City. So that song is etched in my head because I had to remember the words. I've never been very good with remembering lyrics. Never really been good at remembering scripts generally. A few stories about that on another day. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what your favourite Christmas carol is. For those people that come from a Western tradition, from a Christmas tradition and grew up hearing all those songs, and probably there were a lot more of those traditional Christmas religious songs than the secular songs and the pop songs that have sort of taken over in recent years for Christmas. Merry Christmas from the 5-star 7-bedroom deep water Anchorage Seaview Mansion in Phuket. It's a hard life in the tropics, says Grunt Max. I didn't get a invitation. Little Drummer Boy is the favourite song of Annie Manley. Annie, I'm sorry, we're just going to have to disagree on that. Silent Night, that is a very popular religious song and beautifully sung by many, many people over the years. Joy to the World, which I think came from a piece of classical music, but it's also been reinvented many, many times over the years. Joy to the World. Missing most of the show, my wife decided it's now time to mix concrete. Construction life never stops in Isan, says Frank in Thailand. Mark Lynn, someone took the fuse out of it. Tim. Not sure. Carol of the Bells, my all-time favourite, singing or instrumental. Thank you, Just Kendall. Tyler2222 says The First Noel. I can sing all of these, but I won't. When in a choir in Tasmania, this was my favourite. Merry Christmas, says David Kirkham. Thank you, David, very much, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Mr. Ben's World, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. Is it boughs or bells? Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Thank you. White Christmas is a favourite song. I wouldn't call that a Christmas carol. That was probably one of the earlier secular Christmas songs and made popular by Bing Crosby. And it was, I think, the top-selling song of all time for about 40 or 50 years. So the recording of Bing Crosby singing White Christmas was the most popular song of all time. I think for about 40 or 50 years. Hope for a swimming pool, says Alpha Bravo. If you have a look out there, can you see my pool? It's a bit hard because it's quite bright, isn't it? You can sort of see that's my pool there. Yes, anyway, there you go. I'll be in that pool a bit later this afternoon for sure. Don't you worry about that. Tim, Out of Your Piano. O Come All Ye Faithful is the favourite from Arnold Ziffel. And Kylie Wolfig says, Merry Christmas from Perth. Jingle Bell Rock is our favourite. Again, one of the sort of more modern secular songs that have become popular. White Christmas sold 50 million copies, as reports say. There you go. That's astonishing, isn't it? Artists these days would kill to sell 50 million anything. Okay, so I think that sort of just about does it. We've gone through the top Christmas songs of all time. We've gone through the worst Christmas songs of all time. We've gone through the most popular movies. You've shared some of your songs as well. I've also, and I'll just go through them again because I think they're worth looking at. These are what became of my floral shirts, if you didn't see a bit earlier. Got to press the right button here. Sorry, there we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Go back. Here we go. So this is what became of my floral shirts. They're being made into toy elephants and we're going to auction them off. So you can have a little bit of sort of Tim Newton history, also be donating to a fantastic charity if you buy one of these elephants, and we'll be making these available in the next couple of weeks. Here they are during their being put together by the people down there. My iPad's not behaving itself at the moment. I remember that shirt well. I hope you do too. So there they are, the people making those toy elephants out of my 30 old floral shirts that I donated to Seeds of Change. I think that one's going to get a good price. That looks magnificent, doesn't it? So these are toy elephants made by Seeds of Change. And there's some more of my old floral shirts being turned into those toy elephants. So a few final comments from everybody. And what? Tim killed his shirts. Yes, we've turned them into these toy elephants, and they're going to be offered to you to buy, and all the money that you donate to Seeds of Change will be given to them. We're going to have to work out something for people overseas who would like to buy one. We'll have to work out the shipping costs, because that's probably going to cause a few issues. So I'm figuring out how we're going to do all this at the moment. I've got a big whiteboard, and I've got a pen, and I'm drawing circles and arrows, and I'm working out how we're going to do this in the next few weeks. But a good charity, Seeds of Change, which has grown from Living Waters Phuket. MT Sapin. Well, Merry Christmas from the States. Looking forward to being back again in 2 weeks. Hope temperatures rising soon. Scott D, we do. I think Scott D's heading this way, by the way. Your shirts look good as elephants, says Gary and Linda. I think that might be trolling me a bit. Cheech and Chong did some great comedy Christmas bits. Santa Claus and his old lady, and Santa Claus and his magic dust. Yes, indeed, I'll be Thailand bound on Monday, says Scott D. Safe travels to you and your family. And that's about it. A Jingle Bell Rock from the 1950s and has been redone many times. White Christmas song sold 50 millions. We've got that. So with that, I thank you very much for watching today. Merry Christmas to you. Hope you have a good Christmas Eve if you are still in Christmas Eve, and a great Christmas Day ahead. If you're younger, hope Santa brings you some nice presents. Hope you get some love and some hugs from your family. Hope you get some warmer weather if you're in the North American continent. And if nothing else, I hope you do get some people smiling at you on Christmas Day. So from me, from a very warm and hot Phuket, Merry Christmas from Canada, says Gary and Linda. Hi to you. I'm signing out. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas Day. I'm going to go and spend Christmas with Sue and Tom and some other friends. And I'm sure we'll all be like, by about 3 o'clock this afternoon, full of Christmas dinner and plum pudding and probably a few drinks. So Merry Christmas to you. And the cats, they didn't turn up. How disappointed am I? I'm going to have to read their contracts. They didn't even bother coming just to walk past. They know I would have grabbed them and brought them on the camera. Thanks for joining in. 32 degrees here today, bright blue skies. Hope it's going to be the same for you soon, and have a wonderful day.